Over 50 years ago, information was heavily sought after. At the time, the only major information sources were either newspapers or news from radio or television. Since then, we have been introduced to the internet and smartphones, which have given us increased accessibility to information. However, there are some drawbacks to this new way of learning. Now I want to inform you about how technology has caused us to trade wisdom for information. We will talk about how possible information can be believed due to lack of thinking, why people think they do not have to learn anymore, and how increased technology usage has made people lazy. Now I use an iPhone every day and I usually get my information and my entertainment from it, but there's no denying that the iPhone, among other devices, has caused Americans to abandon traditional thinking almost completely. Now technology may have completely changed our way of life, but it has impacted our learning strategies. First, let's talk about how increased information has made people think that they do not have to learn anymore. Over 20 years ago, the internet had become prominent enough to be in almost every home. But websites such as Google, YouTube, or Wikipedia didn't exist yet, so these initial drawbacks meant that people still had to learn their information traditionally. But today, the increased accessibility to information means that people don't have to look as hard for it, and therefore their brains they don't think they have to learn anymore. Peter Suderman, a writer for the American Scene, once said, "It's no longer terribly efficient to use our brains to store information. Rather than memorizing information, we now store it digitally and just remember what we stored." So technically, people are thinking they don't have to learn anymore because there's all this new technology out there. And you can get all your information from it now. But now that we've discussed how information accessibility has made people not want to use their brains, let's also talk about how it makes people lazy. Increased portability and accessibility to information has made people lazy over the years. 20 years ago, finding information required more independent thinking, since online information was not as reliable back then. But today, information has become so accessible that people now use less independent thinking. Sherilyn McCauley, the social media editor for the Next Web, has pointed out that search engines such as Google and Yahoo, among others, have allowed people to easily search for certain instructions rather than figuring out how to do the task themselves. So this increased use of technology for acquiring information and solving problems has therefore rendered the individual's brain virtually obsolete. Technology has also become more portable, so one can look at the instructions without having to go to a particular place to figure them out, so you don't have to consult a textbook anymore now, or an instructional menu. Now that we've talked about how people are becoming lazier with more portable information, let's discuss how possible misinformation can easily fool people. People are trading wisdom for information because the lack of thinking leads them to believe possible misinformation that they find on the internet without questioning it. The increase of information accessibility has also led to the questionability of some of the information's credibility. Some news sources, such as Wikipedia or Fox News, have become notorious for providing information that's either incorrect or biased, which is usually the case for Fox News. User-generated content on news sites and social networks can also result in the spreading of incorrect or biased information. For example, in October 2008, a post on CNN's iReport site, which consists of news reports submitted by users, incorrectly reported that Steve Jobs, then the head of Apple, had suffered a major heart attack. Jobs really had no major heart problems at the time. In fact, he was in great shape until his actual death 3 years later. Still, the fake report caused Apple stock to fall until CNN finally removed the post from their site. So after learning from this little event, I encourage you to do more research about a certain topic because the first thing you find about that topic may be incorrect. So today we've talked about how we've traded wisdom for information. We've discussed how it makes people less willing to learn, how it makes them lazy, and how it makes them believe possible information without questioning it. The bottom line is that information accessibility increasing over the years isn't necessarily an entirely good thing. While it does have many benefits like portability, it also has many drawbacks as far as independent thought is concerned. Thank you.